Well, what is up, everybody? Welcome into the Hump Day Hotline.
What is up?
I am one of your hosts, Joe Miller. You can find me on Twitter at Joe Miller Wired, and that is my dude over. We've messed with you guys tonight. We
Yeah.
flip flopped.
Had to switch it around. Had to change things up for you.
Yep. So introduce yourself there, Jay Spence.
What's up? I am Jay Spence the King, host of the Code of Conduct and one half of the Hump Day Hotline. How's it going this week, Joe?
It's going good. Hump day, hump that like. So we got some people.
Hump that like.
The room is filling up already, and jump on that like button if you are new to this room, if you're new to the Facebook room, if you're new to Twitter, Periscope, wherever you're viewing us. Jump on the like button, hump that like, as we like to say on Hump Day. It's good to have you guys. We are going to talk Bills Jets. We're going to talk Bills Fish. But before we talk anything, are the Buffalo Bills a good football team, Spence?
You're going to start there?
That's where we're starting. Are they? I think it's relevant. Are the Buffalo Bills a good football team?
You know, we made the playoffs last year, and I
did
know
we?
we beat a bad team this year.
What was the record? What was the record last year?
You know, I get it, but we didn't play. I'm trying to play devil's advocate here, if you can't tell.
No, I don't want devil's advocate. I want the truth.
We didn't play top defense, and we didn't play the best quarterbacks because they
That's
were
not
injured.
true. We played 8 of the top 10 defenses last year.
I get where you're starting.
8 of the top 10 defenses.
I get where you're starting. I'm with you. We are a good team.
Good. I don't think it is wrong to come out and tell Bills Mafia and the world the Buffalo Bills are a good football team.
No, I mean, it's not wrong. And part of the problem is that the fan base doesn't quite trust the team because a lot of the people who influence the way the masses think about our team are also still very negative about the team. And you and I have said this on this show before, and even on our podcast, we have to graduate from feeling like, you know, we have the team that's going to break our hearts. We have a good football team. You got to forget the past.
Exactly. And the reality is this. For all of everybody in my circle, which includes you, the Fanatics guys, you know, the Cover One guys, Sterling, one of those guys, like everybody, Bruce Nolan, we all feel that the Bills are a good football team. There is nobody saying Super Bowl or bust. We talk about it. You said it on your show today. The Bills are a potential Super Bowl contender at this point. Like they've got the roster to be one of those teams. Are we saying that they're in the upper echelon of anything? No. But are they a good football team? Yes. They're a good football. They don't suck.
Can we surprise some people and become a great team? Yes, but we're not. And nobody's anointing us that. Right. We're saying it's the year to prove it. That everybody everywhere has been saying, okay, this is the year.
The next step is to go from good, which we've established, to great. Now, What remains to be seen is, are the Bills a great football team? That we're going to find out this year. But are they good? They're good. And to me, I don't want to use irresponsible is the wrong word, but it's just not great to have a platform and to come out and say that somehow it remains to be seen as to whether or not the Bills are even a good football team. The Bills are a good football team. And if anybody doesn't believe that, you know, I don't know what to tell you. You just want to be negative, right? I mean, is there any other way to put it than that?
No, and you know that there's a lot of that, though.
There is a lot of it. You know, I'm over it. I'm done with it. Aren't you done with it?
I am. I'm tired of being nagged. And that's the thing. I was so happy Sunday. I get it. Josh had the 2 fumbles, but I was so happy Sunday to see an offense that could kind of move the ball at will. You know, an offense that looked very good. Josh looked in control of the game. The defense looked just as good, if not better. So I was excited. And then I get on Twitter, and everybody is just so. I'm like, oh my God, let me get off for the rest of the day.
So let's do this,
Richard. Sorry, real quick. There was a couple comments about my hat. It's Squish the Fish week, so I always, for my my Miami fans, I always, you know, throw them some hate.
That's funny. So before we get on to paying the bills, I love that the Hoof guys and the Bills guys and everybody talks about who's in the chat, and I love just to kind of see everybody is somehow my own Facebook account has jumped in and said hump that like. I don't know how that happened. Literally, it says Overreaction Sports Podcast, Buffalo Bills, and it's got my logo from Facebook, and it says hump that like. I don't know how that happened. That's interesting. But we got all the usuals. Andrew Miller is in here. Dirty Randy, Corey from Buffalo. Todd Barker, everybody's in here. Richard Bush is in here. Who else are we looking at? F the Jets is in here. And perfect timing because we did just do that. What's up, Elliot? Steve Mathis is in the house. We know Sturls is in the house. Who else is up in here? I know I saw some other names that were just super duper familiar as far as just
my man Jacob.
The usual suspects, if you will. Let's do this. Koala Bear Khan, the best name on YouTube as far as that goes. I'm going to give some instructions and then you can pay some bills. Does that work? For those of you that are brand new to the hustle, that is the Hump Day Hotline and just Buffalo Fanatics on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. You are live with us, and you are going to drive a lot of the content and a lot of the show tonight. Please comment us, question us, ask us questions. The easiest way to get our attention is to super chat us. The only way to do that is to be on YouTube. So if you're on Facebook and Twitter and you want to get our attention, jump over to YouTube, search Buffalo Fanatics. It'll be the first one that's there. It'll come up live, and you'll have the ability to super chat us there. So why don't you go ahead? We'll pay the man real quick, and then we'll get to the Jets. We'll take a look back, and then we'll take a look forward.
And before I do that as well, I do need everybody to start off by humping that like, because I'm telling you, this show is about to be crazy. We're gonna have it's gonna get real. So hump that like before I forget, because we're gonna get into it. Hey, just like last week, I gotta remind everybody, do me a favor, if you're on your phone, still watch us, but go right to your web browser, go to manscaped.com, go ahead and get some stuff. Whatever you're gonna get towards the end of it when you check out. Use the code Fanatics. You're going to get 20% off and free shipping. I'm telling you, the X-rated Spence. Let's go. I love. I'm sorry, you guys threw me off with that one. But no, real talk. Let's get that Manscaped stuff, man. Let's take care of your balls. Your balls will thank you. The ladies will thank you.
The ladies will thank you.
You got to be right. Got to be right.
The latest man, right? The latest man. So this is what I did. I actually went to manscaped.com and I looked it up because I was like, how much does this kit cost? Because they were gracious enough to send us a kit. We both got one. The Bills guys got one, and I think some other folks got one as well. Dude, it's only $100. So it's $100. 20% off is $80, and they ship it to you for free. You get a free pair of boxers. You get a free T-shirt. You get the razor. You get you had it all out last week. You had creams and lotions and I don't want to say lubes, but other stuff.
No, there were no lubes, no lubes.
But for $80, you kind of can't go wrong. So do your wife, your woman, whoever that special lady is, or man, a favor and jump on that manscaped.com. Throw in the promo code Fanatics, get 20% off of your order. So, talking Jets. What was it that stuck out to you? And I'd love to know from the fans that are here, everybody that's logged in, what was it that stuck out most to you from that Jets game Sunday?
Well, it was two things. One, the growth that I did see from Josh. The thing that I wanted to watch from the offense 100% was whether or not Josh Allen could come out and just really show poise and run and command the offense. I wanted to see the communication with him and the receivers. I wanted to see him change some plays or some protections at the line. Josh looked great.
He did.
I know we had the 2 fumbles, and we're going to talk about that. I'm sure of it. But man, Josh looked great. And then on the other side of things, I'm just a little bit concerned about the injuries that we came out of the game with. When you look at the linebacking core, that is probably my biggest concern right now going into week 2. But yeah.
So I have the current, not injury report, but I just have the report from practice today. Surprisingly, the biggest surprise on here, John Brown did not participate today with a foot injury. Vernon Butler was full go with his hamstring. Terrell Dodson, neck limited. Tremaine Edmonds did not participate with the shoulder. There's been no real, has there been any detail on what's going on with Tremaine at all? I don't think there has.
No, coach just said that it was not considered a long-term injury. So.
Fromm is still doing the COVID just-in-case quarterback guy, so he is probably still separated from the team. Matt Milano did not participate with a hamstring. If I had to guess, we're not going to see Matt. Although, was it you that said that he was kind of raring to go on the sideline? I thought I heard somebody say that he was bouncing up and down on the sideline, wanting to go back in, but they wouldn't let him in.
I think Matt's. It's Tremaine that I'm worried about.
Gotcha. And then Delshon Phillips quad did not participate. So those are the guys that we're looking out for right now. For me, I agree with you. There was a measure of just confidence and there was a measure of command. Not that Josh Allen hasn't had command before. It was just different this time. Like it was impressive to me because I wasn't expecting pass Josh Allen run pass Josh Allen run pass Josh Allen run. Like there was a great deal of like, whoa, this is an offense that we have not seen yet before. Even to the point of, are the Bills beginning to trust him maybe more than what they've trusted him in the past? Yes, he did run. I think he had 14 runs. It's been debated a ton. Oh, we got a new member. A new guy that has joined. Do you see that pop up there?
Yeah, I do.
With the name Odd, which is funny. Throw that up there if you can. Yep, Odd became a YouTube member. Bang, biggity, bang. Where's Rico when you need him with the Bing Squad? Ringing that bell for
I
the
love
new
when
members.
Rico does that.
So Odd, that is your name. Thank you for joining Buffalo Fanatics on YouTube. But he ran the ball 14 times, 10 of which, or 9 or 10 were designed runs, and the other 4 were where he took off just on his own. And, the reality is when you run the ball as much as he does, and, Lamar Jackson puts the ball on the ground a little bit too, they're going to put the ball on the ground. I mean, it's just one of those things that's going to happen. You don't want it to happen. I love the comment, I believe it was Mookie said on your show today, just that, if Singletary puts the ball on the ground twice, he's probably not getting back in the game, right? If one of these other guys, pick a guy, John Brown puts the ball on the ground twice, he's probably not getting back out in the game. Quarterback is a little bit different. You're not pulling your quarterback for that reason. But as I said on my show on Monday, it seemed to me there was a clear Josh Allen is going to be the guy in the first half of this game. Like we're giving the ball to Josh. Like winners want the ball, Shane Falco rather. Like winners always want the ball. We're going to give the ball. We're going to give the ball to Josh. And then somewhere around halftime, McDermott was like, yeah, stop giving it to Josh. Like no more running. So then they just stopped. And it could have been the fumbles. I don't know. I mean, I don't know where you were at on that, but it was great to see, to your point, like just the confidence that the team seemed to have in him, right?
Well, yeah, I agree with you. But I think the second half, them stopping, I think it has more to do with them being less aggressive than it has to do with them saying stop giving it to Josh. I don't think that was the adjustment.
I think I'm on the other side. So I came out and I said it's one of two things. They're either taking their foot off the gas, and I use the phrase turtle shelling, which basically means that we're just going to we're going to hold on to the football and run the clock out, or there's a lack of execution, a lack of urgency, a lack of paying attention to details. And it seems like the more that I've listened to just certain people this week, the play calls didn't change as much as that attention to detail, that execution part did. Some of the play calls, as I said, were a little strange. I mean, when they did start running the ball, they tried to run it up the middle every time, right at Quentin Williams, which probably isn't the best idea when he is basically the best player on their football team. I don't know. Another thing that perturbed me with the game was just Greg Williams doing Greg Williams things, whether it was the clear shot to the head that Josh Allen took really late, or just there was a very clear intention on that defense to hit Stefan Diggs as hard and as often as they possibly could. Because they hit Stefan Diggs in ways that they did not hit John Brown or anybody else on that football team. And that stuff's it's just getting old. It's just, for me, the Greg Williams thing is just, and if any of you have never listened to the recorded coaching conversation that he had with, I believe, the Saints defense, dude, it's creepy. It's scary, some of the stuff that he said. And it's just, the NFL's got to put a stop to it. His teams go out to purposefully hurt people, and the Jets do it to the Bills all the time.
And you would think, though, you would just think, and not that you want to necessarily profile anybody, because obviously I'm one of the people in life who thinks that profiling is wrong. But if you know a guy has a specific history as a coach, and you notice aggressiveness, over aggressiveness from his players, it's one thing to tackle and play solid football. It's another thing when guys were they were clearly looking for Diggs Sunday. It wasn't it was a completely different type of hit. Even the floater was the 22-yard completion that Josh had to Diggs right over, and he caught near the sideline. And the way they blasted him, just completely different than just a hit. We don't see those type of hits in the league no more. And you would think the NFL would really take a look at that and pay attention to it and say, you know what, Greg, enough is enough. But
we've warned you, we've suspended you, we suspended your head coach. It's time to do something different. I actually didn't mind the Josh Allen designed runs as much. Yes, there's a point where he's fumbling and you kind of want it to stop. I think we're going to see a lot more of it this weekend just because of what Cam did to the Dolphins. The Dolphins came out because of Cam Newton. The Dolphins came out of week one, and I don't want to get ahead of us, but the Dolphins came out of week one as one of the worst rush defenses and one of the best pass defenses. And it's basically because of the game that Cam played. So it'll be interesting to see, but I think we're going to see probably some more Josh Allen design runs. And the reality is Josh Allen owns the Fins. What was your thought on Stefan Diggs? How did that play for you as far as just seeing what he did?
Well, first, thank you to whoever Pushing Waves is. We appreciate the compliment.
I didn't see it.
And then secondly,
YouTube make a great show.
It says that we make a great show. Yep. And then secondly, Diggs, listen, he's a number one receiver, and you got to see what having a number one receiver does for a team. So we haven't really had a number one receiver. And I think you said on your show that we haven't had one since Molds or something like that.
Yep.
I would disagree a little bit because I'm a Stevie fan.
People love Stevie, but that doesn't mean that he's better than Stefan Diggs.
No, I'm not saying he's better than Stefan Diggs, but that doesn't also mean that he's not a legitimate number one receiver. He was open. Like that guy, he had some bad drops. So that's why I said I can see why some would think he wasn't. But I agree. If you really look back at it, we haven't had a number one receiver. So that pass interference call that we got, that's because Stefan Diggs is Stefan Diggs. It had nothing to do with anything else. If that was last year and it was John Brown, that call isn't made.
You're not getting it.
So that's what a number one receiver gives you for a team. So when it's third down and you throw the ball up there, and instead of going off the field because you don't convert, now you're getting a first down plus probably 30 yards down the field because it was pass interference. I love Stefan Diggs.
He made catches, so he is directly going to, outside of just the coaching stuff that we've seen him do, and we've talked about this on this show, like coaching up Allen and coaching up the other receivers, and it was happening today. There was a tweet and a video from practice today where he was literally talking to Josh Allen as well as Brian Daboll, just talking about like what he wants to see or what's going to happen in a play or how he would like to see a play ran, and then they immediately broke that huddle and then like ran a play. Not only is he going to make them better that way, but he's catching balls that in the last 20 years before Eric Moulds, receivers that we have had haven't made these catches. And like, it's going to help Allen specifically in that completion percentage area. Like he made some incredible catches for first down. He had 8 receptions. I think 6 were for first downs or something like that. Like that's insane. So like, welcome to the team, Stefan Diggs. Welcome to Buffalo. Like you are a number one receiver and I'm glad to have you. Right. I mean, let's go. Like, and he didn't get hurt, which was, I was really nervous that they were gonna hurt him. But like I said, I felt they were obviously working on it. So, what Sheldon Cole got to say?
Sheldon says that Diggs is a very good safety valve for us on third, and he's excited. He's excited that he's here for us. Here's the thing: it's amazing because we have, for wide receivers, we have 3 safety valves now.
Right.
John Brown. Listen, I know Diggs said this and was kind of just being like that nice number one receiver that's building team chemistry. Mm-hmm. But listen, John Brown is extremely underrated. And I know you told me prior to this coming on that you didn't get a chance to go back and watch the game like you normally do.
Yeah.
But when you really watch the game, man, John Brown is really good at running these routes. And he's there when Josh needs him. When Josh breaks the pocket and he's on the move like that, John Brown is one of the best at coming back and giving Josh a target that's open to catch the ball. And on third down, it's amazing. And Cole Beasley, man, that guy, if he's not open every single play, like literally Josh could have just force-fed Cole Beasley every single play.
It'll be interesting to see, and before you get to that super chat, thank you, RC3, it'll be interesting to see how the dynamic of the way the defenses play us like changes, because with Diggs, with Thielen in Minnesota, he was open and not what I would consider crowded as much as he was. Like they were paying serious attention to Stefan Diggs, and somebody chatted us. Oh, it's actually that super chat. So yeah, if you threw it up, like that was huge. The fact that like the two guys had blanketed him, and then he's like pointing over their heads, like letting Allen know that Knox is in the back of the end zone. Now Allen missed him. He got a little bit excited and missed him, but it'll be interesting to see if the way he's played. A defenses play him if it changes, which is going to open, because obviously double covering him and keeping so much attention on him is opening up John Brown, is opening up Dawson Knox, which we talked about, is opening up Cole Beasley. Is it going to change? Is it going to give him more room to operate? I think it will. But yeah, dude, like he's just it was everything I had hoped it would be and more. And that's even with a low stat day, 8 for 86 yards. Is that what it was? No touchdowns, like to me, but it was solid. So
Uh, I don't look at that as a low stat day. When you give your quarterback
it
eight
wasn't
completions.
flash. It wasn't flash. It wasn't like
No, it wasn't flash, but he absolutely he was a game changer for us. Even though we
yeah,
didn't necessarily need him to be, we didn't need a breakout player,
yeah,
but he absolutely made plays that you can just see it. It's very evident when you watch the offense from last year very quickly. Even like their best offensive game. If you want to watch, I can't say it was their best one, but if you want to watch like the Thanksgiving game where I felt like the offense really looked good when they took over the game, or the first half of the playoff game, it still didn't look like what we looked like Sunday. Like
right.
they really, besides the fumbles, they were just moving the ball in the first half.
At
Like
will,
it was just
at
like
will.
any play they called besides a couple. I think there was a Josh Allen run that was a loss, and then maybe a couple handoff, like to the running backs that was a loss.
Yeah.
But other than that, man, it was like literally every single time he went back there to throw, it felt so good to see a team just move the
Yeah,
ball.
and obviously the Jets are a bad football team. They got a great run defense, but they're a bad football team. They're a bad coached football team. And to your point, you brought it up, and we talked about it offline, just so everybody knows. Like somebody in my house deleted the game. So normally I watch the game live for the emotional experience, and then I'll watch it back 2 or 3 times just to kind of get a feel for what happened. And somebody deleted it. So I feel very unprepared because I have not seen the game more than twice, which is a little weird for me. So yeah, one of my kids is grounded. I don't know which one yet because neither one of them have admitted it. Go
I don't
ahead.
think anybody will, man. I don't think so. Don says that we have three of the best route runners in the
It's true.
NFL. I absolutely agree
It's
with you.
true. It's
Absolutely.
absolutely true. So a couple people in the chat have said that they're having a little trouble just with it glitching or skipping. Are you having trouble with both of us? Is it because it seems like my video is hitching up a little bit, or is it on a specific platform? If you guys want to just let us know, that would be
Yeah, just
great.
let us know. We
Yeah,
can
but
maybe reset or something.
yeah, there's a whole bunch of y'all in here. Hump that like, get it going, and we got 70 likes on YouTube, and there's a whole lot more people in this room than that. So jump on the like button, subscribe, do all that stuff. Go to my Twitter page at Joe Miller Wired. Follow me. Go to Jay Spence's Twitter page at Jay Spence the King. Follow Jay Spence. Elliot's trying to talk to me. What do you got from Brian Bowers?
What do you think about this? He said he's pretty sure that Josh will surpass 4,000 yard mark on this for passing this year. What do you think? You think the Bills are gonna, really push Josh like they did Sunday to kind of hit that 300-yard mark, or like a 280, 300-yard mark every week, or do you think we're gonna really get back to running the ball?
So first, Elliot, yes, DM me the link. That'd be fantastic. And second, this is where the PTSD sets in, right? Because as Bills fans, we are conditioned over the last 20 years as seeing our team find something that works or something that's semi quasi dominant and then never go back to it. So there's an aspect of like I want to say that like what we saw on Sunday wasn't a fluke, that like they're ready to open this thing up and give Josh Allen the reins, even with mistakes, like knowing that he's still growing, knowing that he's still 10, 20,000 reps behind Baker Mayfield and behind Sam Darnold, but that he's showing enough confidence and showing enough of everything that you want to see from a quarterback in the NFL, a young one especially, that that they're going to be opening it up. However, my heart tells me that no, like they're going to come out this week and they're going to run the ball 36 times, which is probably the right thing to do against the Dolphins. But I'd love to see it. I mean, you almost got to wonder if the project that Josh Allen was, if 18 was not really a truly like rookie year for him, that almost if like last year was kind of like the real rookie season for Josh Allen, like if that makes sense, like because he was so far behind everybody else, and this is kind of like year 2 for him.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'll be the stat question. I'm on record of saying 3850 to 4,000. I wasn't expecting him necessarily to come out and hit 300 week 1, but if he keeps that up, the sky is the limit. So Todd Barker, Bill
I
still
expected it.
did you?
I did. I said he was going to get 315. He got, or I said 312. He got 315.
See, this Todd Barker, Bill still want to be a run first team, but the Jets just have no secondary. I think
I
we only
disagree.
I think we only believe that because Sean McDermott is the defensive head coach.
But I don't even think that's the thing. I think we only believe that because of who we've been. It's not even regardless of who, if he's a defensive coach or not. I think a lot of us just aren't really paying attention to what the Bills are doing and what type of roster we built. You don't trade for Stefan Diggs, and you don't, like you don't do that
Right.
if you're going to be a run first or a run only team. I know Minnesota had them, and they were, you know, in an unsmart way. They're not going to do what Buffalo should have, or they're Buffalo's doing what Minnesota should have done.
Agreed.
They're going to pass that ball.
Agreed. Anthony says 4,000 is a bit high for 15 games. The last one against Miami won't count. Not if they're at 15-0.
No, we're going for 16, man. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm just kidding. I just want to see Anthony. We got stash for 50 needs to hang on. So hashtag stash for 50 needs to hang on for the rest of the season. So if we put a 50 burger on anybody, Anthony cuts down to a stash. So in fact, we all should just do it. If the Bills score 50 points, put a 50 burger on anybody, we should all shave it down to a stash. I'm in for stash for 50. So
Joshua wants to know, how do you think this offense would do against top 10 defenses like Rams, Seattle, and 49ers?
You want me to answer?
Yeah.
So last year, and I've been on record as saying it, like pounding the table because people don't feel like we played anybody last year and we had a soft schedule and the Bills only averaged 19 points a game. The reality is the Bills played 8 of the top 10 defenses and they were one of the 10. Like they were right. So there was 9 of them were represented. There was only one team that they didn't play because they couldn't play the other one because it was them. They played 8 of the top 10 defenses last year, and they scored 19. They averaged 19 points a game. I think that 19 is a realistic number against those defenses. I think it's going to come down to Josh Allen, and I think this team is different. I think one player, Stefan Diggs, makes all the difference in the world, and if you want to go 1.5 or 2 players, Zach Moss is the other piece of that puzzle, because if you come out and you get a little bit of a lead and then you just start pounding people with Zach Moss, like we're not going to win them all. I'm not going to say that. We're going to lose football games this year, but I'd love to know what you think. I mean,
well, Buffalo Bills is going undefeated. Mm-hmm. We go into the Super Bowl. That's what I think.
So you're on the Bills. No, you're on the Bills are great train, not the Bills are good train.
No, I'm joking. The thing is, so here's the thing. I believe our defense. I believe the guys that play for our defense, we have a top 2, top 3 defense.
Mm-hmm.
And Sunday after the game, I think it was Hyde. They asked Micah how he felt about the offense, and and he's like, well, I knew our offense was going to be good because they do it to us in practice.
Right.
So when you have the defense, and then there was another interview prior to the season started where one of the players was like, no, we really it this year, like the offense, and then with us as the defense, we really it. So when you have that, I just believe I don't think we're going to struggle against any team. I'm not saying that we're going to go out there and score 35 points a game, but honestly, I think that if we don't really put the pedal to the metal this year, something's wrong, man. We got the roster to do it.
I think there's reason for hope and there's reason for excitement and encouragement. I think there's going to be at least one game where the wheels fall off and there's for whatever reason nothing's working and it just is what it is.
Yeah.
I don't know what game it could be. It could be a game against the Dolphins. Like it could.
I just hope it's not the Patriots. That just please don't let it. Please, as much as I love Cam, Joe, please.
I don't want to go
there. As much
there.
as I love Cam,
I don't want to go there.
If we lay an egg and not literally get score no points, but if we don't show up against the Patriots, man, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
In order to be the man, you've got to beat the man. And as long as we can't beat the man, we'll never be the man. So I've said that a lot, and that's where we fall. So Thunderbreeze
says that go ahead.
I want the Bills to play the KCs and San Francisco of the NFL. They're gonna.
Literally, both of them this year.
In a couple weeks.
Yep.
Speaking of which, we have a location. So Jay Spence and myself are going to do the Hump Day Hotline on location in Buffalo, and capacity permitting and Andrew Cuomo allowing it and Mark Poloncarz allowing it. You guys are all invited if you're in Buffalo. So what are some of those details, Jay Spence?
I wasn't prepared to talk about that, so I don't have.
Are we not letting it out? Are we not letting it out?
No, we can. I just didn't have everything up on my screen. So we can come back to that so I can get the actual information up.
We actually have a location. So the Hump Day Hotline is going to come to you live on location on a Thursday. We're going to swap with the Bills guys. Kansas City week. So the week of the Kansas City Chiefs game on prime time. And we're going to do the Hump Day Live on location here in Buffalo. Jay Spence will be coming back from Arizona that week, and everybody that can like make it out to where we're going to be, we would love to see you. So we're hoping to do some giveaways. We're hoping to have some fun. We're going to watch the game together. So like I said, it's going to come down to capacity limitations. I would say we would distribute tickets, but according to the government, you can't like distribute tickets because COVID knows that there's tickets, and that's when it really shows up. So you can't do tickets in New York State, but we're going to do what we can to live on location. Do you have the information? Did I delay long
I
enough?
do. You did. Thank you. We're gonna be at Magruder's on Broadway in Depew. So the address is 4995 Broadway. Like Joe said, we're not gonna be charging or anything like that. Just
Nope.
come and party with us, and it's gonna be a good time. If fans are allowed at the game, then obviously we're gonna be wrapping up pretty quickly to make it to.
Hopefully.
I'm still going to call it the Ralph, but we're going to be wrapping up to try to make it there. If not, man, stay, kick it with us, have a couple drinks, and
Yeah.
let's just enjoy it.
Yeah.
I'm amped to be coming back to Buffalo, man. I miss you guys. I really do. I can't believe I'm saying and admitting that I miss Buffalo this much, but I miss Buffalo.
Yeah, I'm going to squeeze you so hard you're not going to be able to breathe, just so you know.
It's all good, man. It's all good.
It's been too long since I've seen you live and in person. So yeah, but we were talking about just playing the Casey's and the San Francisco's. Weird, I saw a power ranking today that San Francisco was number 9 and the Arizona Cardinals were number 10. And why that was weird to me was not only because the Cardinals beat the San Francisco 49ers this weekend, but also because like that Cardinals game was Kyler Murray throwing to DeAndre Hopkins, and that was like all that they could do the whole game. Like there was really nothing else they could do. So it was just a little strange to me. So yeah, but don't get arrested.
I'm trying to find in the chat here where it started, but they're already on some Trent Murphy talk.
That is a bold take right there.
That's probably
Joshua
where
Barrett.
It started.
Trent Murphy leads the team in sacks. That's a bold take. It'll be interesting to see who comes out. My money is on Mario Addison.
I would actually agree with you on Mario Addison. He is a beast.
Yeah, dude.
I love that too. Zach says Trent Murphy played really well. He think he might have a really good year. I agree. I've been on the team of keep him or cut him if we're going to sign Clowney.
Right.
We didn't sign Clowney, so let's keep him. I think he's going to do well, man. The defense looks good as long as Matt is in there. And so when Matt got injured, that's when I got concerned because Klein obviously can't cover. He's not a cover, so that was rough. That was very rough. But the defense, that defensive line, more than I've seen in recent years, man, they're hungry. And they're putting pressure on. And I get it. The Jets have a bad offensive line, but those guys are hungry.
Yeah, this is where I'm deficient because it's like I woke up Tuesday morning or was it Monday morning? I think I woke up Monday morning and I was like trying to remember stuff from the game, and like literally I was like, did Harrison Phillips play? And I couldn't remember. And then I've seen highlights since then of him being in the game, so I know he played. But like going back and rewatching the games, I spend one of those times watching the offensive line and the defensive line. And like literally, I know that they were rolling guys like crazy. I know that the Jets offensive line had like the RD gave them fits the whole day, but I honestly could not tell you what, why, how, like who it was. I know Jerry Hughes was given, is it Mekhi Becton, the new kid? He was giving him some fits. And then I saw somebody post like how great he did. Oh, it was Baldinger talked about how great he did. And it's like, well, first of all, one of those blocks was a push in the back. And the other one was like, the player had given up by then. It's like, I don't know what you're talking about or what you're watching, but you might want to try watching the whole game.
And we had, didn't we have like I can't remember his name now because I didn't think we would talk about it, but we had like a defensive tackle, like an undrafted guy get a sack Sunday, right? If somebody can throw in the comments, there was a defensive tackle that made a really nice play in the first half, and they made a big deal about it, but I didn't note it down because we weren't really paying attention to it.
This is where I'm at. Like I literally can't tell you because I have not had a chance to watch it again. So, Jeff King, guys, are you comfortable with just a win this week, or do you need to see total domination from the Dolphins? Dude, just win, baby.
I'm never on the band. Like I get it. Like everybody wanted us to come out this past week and like we have to dominate. If we don't win 50-0, then it's listen in the NFL. It doesn't matter. You remember when the Bills weren't good. We were the team that would really spoil things every once in a while for some of those good teams. I remember one of my best friends from Indiana, he was a Green Bay fan. And I remember I was living out there, I think it was like 2013 or 14, and Green Bay came to Buffalo. And everybody was talking all Buffalo's trash, and he's like, I'm not gonna sleep on Buffalo. I know how that defense plays, and guess what? We shut Aaron Rodgers. We shut him down that game. It wasn't
Yep.
even like a close game. So it's the NFL. These guys are professionals, regardless if the coach is horrible. Any given week, these guys can really show up and show out.
Yep, for sure. Before we move on to the Dolphins, first of all, you guys are watching the Humpty Hotline. Thank you so much for tuning in on the Buffalo Fanatics Multicast Network, live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Periscope, and all over the place. Do us a favor, jump on that like button, hump that like button. Let us know that you're here. Chat us up. Let us know what's going on. If you have any questions. Tyrell Dotson got the sack. I think that's who you're talking about. And then Zimmer had a tackle for loss on Bell.
It was Zimmer that I was talking about, but yeah.
I think what's interesting, and the last point that I'll make on the Jets game is this. It was crazy for me. I sat there in disbelief on my couch when Sam Darnold did what we watched Josh Allen do all of 2018 and then a lot in 2019 when he was running for the sideline 6 yards behind the line of scrimmage and just ran straight out of bounds. I was like,
Yep.
Throw the ball away. Like, I was at that point, like, I hate the Jets, right? F the Jets. Like, that's the dude is in the chat. Like, F the Jets. But I was just like, you're a year 3 starting quarterback who was taken like in the top 5. That's something year 1. Like, you don't run out of bounds and take a 6-yard sack. Like, you don't do that. Like, I just couldn't. Like, when you think about that as it pertains to just the progression of Allen versus where Darnold is and the starting cast around Darnold and what it's done to him and his psyche, David Carr-esque and what it's doing to him versus Allen. The interesting projection or the interesting comp is Darnold and he's got a garbage fire around him. Allen has a team around him, and Baker Mayfield was given a team. But Baker Mayfield is not finding the same success that Allen is finding, and that hasn't been talked about enough, I don't think. But
Well, Baker Mayfield is not a good quarterback, but that's another conversation for another show.
Hang on a second. In Baker Mayfield's senior year, the bowl game that he played in and lost, the first half of that game, he was dominant and didn't miss a thing. I don't know what happened in the second half of that game when the team that they were playing came back and beat them. But, like, I remember I was at Applebee's in Columbus, Ohio, watching that game, and I was just like, holy crap, this kid is going to be good. Like, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, but, I mean, Tim Tebow was dominant in college, too. So, no, I'm not comparing the two.
He didn't play quarterback. Tim Tebow couldn't throw a football, bro. Come on.
Well, no, but my point is, and that we all know that college is different than the NFL, and some people do translate over, but Baker just hasn't translated. And the thing is, and I'm sure some of you saw it. Like, there was like a little thing on Twitter. Everybody was like bashing Odell.
Yeah.
Like, he's the problem there. And it's like,
I don't think so.
It's Baker, man.
It's potentially coaching. Freddie Kitchens, I don't think did him any favors. He's now in his 3rd offense in 3 years. That's probably a good part of it. Getting back to Tebow, the best thing that Tebow did was make it so that Terrell Pryor was not a real NFL experiment because they were similar quarterbacks. Quarterback to the right, quarterback to the left, quarterback up the middle, and throw the ball once every 6 downs. So thank God for Tebow because then we didn't have to live through a Terrell Pryor experiment out of OSU. So, yeah. So
I love you too, Martin, by the way. I didn't get to comment on that. Yeah.
I saw that. Amy just showed up. Thanks for showing up, Amy. No,
hey, Amy.
Don't worry about being late. Just jump on that like button, hump that like for us.
Rodney says Lamar Jackson and Allen are the best of that class. I agree.
Right now.
And
but it poses a question that people are asking. If Darnold was drafted by the Bills and Allen by the Jets, are we reversing that conversation?
Wait, say it again.
If Darnold had been drafted by the Bills and Allen by the Jets, everything is exactly the same, but Darnold was drafted by the Bills, Allen by the Jets. Is Allen the Josh Allen of today, or is Darnold the Josh Allen of today?
If that happened and the coaching staff that we have developed Darnold, honestly, I think Darnold would have had like a MVP type caliber season this year. He had the talent. The guy was deadly accurate. The guy could ball. He could ball.
It's in his head right now. Right now, it's in his head.
It's tragic, man. It was in his head, and it's also not on the field. They don't have any talent to put around him. Le'Veon Bell is Le'Veon Bell, but the thing is, it's a different type of style for that team. In Pittsburgh, he was patient behind the line. In New York, he's slow. Like, it's a different thing. Like, that team is so bad.
You know what a great comp is? Mookie on your show today talked about the Josh Allen and the Texans game. So, like, Josh Allen goes out. That block is missed. He gets buried in the turf. He's totally got his bell rung. They go 4 or 5 wide on the very next play, and his bell is so rung, he bails. As soon as the ball is snapped, he just bails. And that's where Darnold is in his headspace. Darnold is not there. Like, he might come out the first game or the start of a game, and for the first couple plays be okay and feeling it, but as soon as that pressure gets in his face, like it goes sideways for him. Thank you for the super chat. Where would you rank Josh among all starting NFL QBs right now, Jay Spence? And are we talking fantasy rank or are we talking QB rank?
That's a good question. Me personally, I put Josh around that 12 to 13, that area there. He's slightly above average to me. I think his potential is to where he's like 5, 6, 7, that area,
Agreed.
But he's not quite there yet. I think he can prove it this year, though.
I don't think anybody's ever going to confuse Josh Allen for Tom Brady, right?
I don't know. I just saw that. I hope somebody's in here trolling, even though we're Bills fans. Somebody just said, what is he, probably 6? What?
Well, the QBR ranking, and I'm not a big QBR fan, and if you follow me on Twitter, you know that. They had him at 13 this week. That's probably right where he is this year, or right now. He's probably 13, and he has the opportunity to rise and fall. I don't know that Josh Allen is ever going to be mistaken. What I was getting at is mistaken is for the best quarterback in the NFL. I just don't know that it's like 3 years from now. I could be wrong. I would love to be wrong. Oh my God, would I love to be wrong? I don't know,
Joe. Like, the thing that impresses me with Josh, and you kind of said it earlier, every year he's gotten better.
Right.
And like you said, this is almost like his second year, technically, because he was so underdeveloped coming out of college. So it's one of those things where it's like, now this is the first year we've seen him with talent around him, and this is what the game was. Like,
right.
I don't know, man. I'm not saying he is going to be he's definitely a different quarterback than Peyton, but I could see Josh potentially at some point really having an MVP season, so being the best guy in the league.
I'm not ready to commit yet, but we'll get there. But bing, biggity, bing. We are humping likes and making members up here on the Hump Day Hotline tonight.
Let's go.
William Utzinger became a YouTube member. Thank you for that, sir. You are the man. Welcome to the fam. Making Rico happy. That's what you're doing right now, making Rico happy. So,
that's a good question, Josh.
Go ahead.
He said, who has more rushing yards this week, Moss or Singletary? Or Allen? I think
Allen.
Singletary has the most. No,
Really?
I think it's Singletary. Yeah, I think they're going to, because the running game didn't do well, in my opinion, I just feel like they're going to like force feed those guys. And Singletary is a little bit more shifty. So I think this is going to be that game. It's not the rugged game that Moss is the key. Like, this is the game where, like you said, Josh will get Josh is going to eat.
Yeah, he's
now really quick, because they asked about rankings. If we're talking fantasy, he's top 5.
Well, he was top 5 last year. He was a top 5 quarterback last year. So yeah, he's absolutely top 5. So people in the chat, Anthony's saying he's getting 100. People are getting 80. He's going to eat. Like, he owns. It's funny how certain players do well against certain teams. They just, and like certain players don't. Like, it's the Tannehill conversation. So did the Bills just own Tannehill? Or does Tannehill have a hard time playing against the Bills? We're going to find out this year, right? So, and right now, Allen loves to play against the Dolphins. If the Bills played the Dolphins every single game of the year, we'd be 14-2, 15-1, 16-0. He loves to play the Dolphins, and they usually do not have an answer for him. So that's a great segue. So we could probably move on to with the last half of the show, just the Bills Dolphins preview. So I'm going to run some banner stuff for everybody, and you guys are welcome to chime in here as well. So the first question, same questions we asked last week. First one is, what matchup has your attention, most of your attention for this game?
Stefan Diggs and John Brown, or whoever the second receiver. If John, I'm sure he'll play. But if John doesn't play, whoever they put there, whether it's Gabe Davis or if they're going to target Beasley more, I want to see that secondary of Miami with the Buffalo offense.
Right.
They have 2 pretty good cornerbacks.
Xavier Howard is going to obviously cover. They're going to put him on an island with Diggs. I don't even know if he'll get. I don't know if he'll get help. I don't know if he'll get help.
Well, but he's solid. So I'm looking forward to seeing a number 1 receiver, on my team go against a really good cornerback. And then, like I said, so I want to see if the offense can still move the ball with a secondary that is considered to be projected to be pretty good. We'll see.
I think we're going to run the ball a lot. I think that we're going to run the ball a lot this game. I think Xavier Howard, like I said, is going to be put on an island against Stefan Diggs. There's an aspect of playing us straight up, which basically means that Josh Allen might end up with a spy. So if they've got the personnel to go all the way around and then spy Allen, it's going to be a Singletary Zach Moss game. And they had trouble, like the Dolphins had trouble already last week against the Patriots, stopping them.
What
So I
about
think
our line versus Lawson?
the
Oh,
Patriots,
sorry.
yeah, you're fine. I haven't got there yet. The Patriots haven't gotten. That's an interesting point. The Patriots, I think they averaged 5.2 yards a carry last week. So, Tim Stook, how about our line versus Lawson? Lawson didn't have a great game. So Cam abused Lawson in that game Sunday.
Lawson is who we thought he was.
Yeah, but there's familiarity too there, and there's going to be a little bit of an edge for Lawson. So there's going to be a little bit of a, like Jordan Phillips whenever we would play the Dolphins, and Jordan Phillips came to play because it's the team that cut him, right? Now we didn't cut Lawson, but we didn't re-sign him either. So there's going to be a little bit of an edge there, I think, on Lawson. What's up, Kevin? Speaking of Miami Dolphins fan, Squish the Fish.
Yeah, I wore my hat just for you, Kev. And you're talking about by solid and pretty good. You mean it's all pro? I mean by his solid and pretty good, I mean he's not as good as Trey White. Thank you.
Yes. Yeah.
Thank
Although
you.
there's people out there that think he is as good or better than Trey White, but he is
nowhere
not.
near Trey White.
And the reality is if he gets put on an island with Stefan Diggs, we're going to find out how good he is this weekend, right? So
we didn't forget Byron Jones. We said the defensive backs.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, but Xavier Howard, man, like
at the end of the day, we've talked about it a lot. It's a pick your poison mentality for any defense playing this offense. So if you've got the personnel to double cover one guy or go straight up. So if you're double covering somebody, who are you double covering? So you're picking your poison there. But if you're going to go straight up, you're going straight up. You're putting a lot of trust in Xavier Howard to cover Diggs. You're putting a lot of trust in Byron Jones to cover, obviously, John Brown. Then you've got Cole Beasley underneath. You know, who's their nickel. I don't have who their nickel is in front of me, but regardless, you know, Cole Beasley, averaged the most yards of separation of any wide receiver last year in the NFL. Dawson Knox he drops footballs last year, but he's a dangerous weapon. Now you're talking about him. Now you're talking about spying Josh Allen. The Bills ran a crap ton of 4 wide receivers. Gabe Davis was in the game a ton this past weekend.
49%.
49% of the snaps. And oh, by the way, we still haven't talked about Devin Singletary or Zach Moss and the fact that Josh Allen, last Sunday, in his traditional drop back, scan the running back or scan the guy in the flat and then go, nah, I don't want that. Look downfield and throw the ball as far as he could. Didn't do that last Sunday. He literally put the ball in the flat and beat the Jets a lot with checkdowns. Like, the Bills found the screen game last weekend. It wasn't always successful, but they found it. So,
well, I think
I don't know,
part
man.
of it, they found the screen game, and Josh also found the decision to throw short. Like,
right.
There was a couple outlets, and he was just like, okay, let me just take what I can take. And that alone makes our offense dangerous.
I think it's funny with quarterbacks, specifically Josh Allen. Josh Allen's all about taking what I can take if I can get 5 or 6 yards with my legs, but he hasn't traditionally been take what I can take if I can get 5 or 6 yards with a screen pass or with just a pass to the flat.
And you know what? There was one play. I'm sorry to cut you off. There was one play. It was like, I think the fourth. It may have been the third. When Josh was like scrambling out to the right, and I don't know if it was Moss or Singletary, but it was like a running back on the right side of the boundary, like wide open, like I'm right here.
Yep.
And he looked at him, and he just would not throw it to him, and he scrambled out and ended up making a completion to Brown. I think it was like a first down pickup, but it was just like, this guy would not throw it short for nothing.
Right.
It's hilarious. It's scary at the same time, though.
So my answer to the question, what matchup am I looking forward to? Last week I said in one of either this question or the next one, I wanted to see the Bills just line up and beat the man across the other side of the line of scrimmage, and they did that. They just lined up and they beat the Jets. For me this week, and I know this sounds a little elementary, I want to see the matchup between the Bills defense, specifically our defensive backfield, against the Dolphins wide receivers. If Devontae Parker doesn't play, because right now it seems like he's injured, I think he's doubtful to play. I don't know who's there. I mean, who does Trey White cover? Right? I mean, there's an aspect of like, it'll be interesting to see what happens and what comes out of this game. Are they going to run the ball more? I mean, obviously, you know, the Bills, the better part of the Bills defense hasn't traditionally been the run defense. So are they going to try to run? Are they going to try to put Matt Breida to work this weekend? Is he going to find success against the Buffalo Bills, or is Fitzpatrick going to throw 3 or 4 interceptions? I don't know what the answer is, but I'm really excited to see our defensive backfield against Fitz and just kind of see if Fitzy becomes Fitz magic or Fitz tragic. So, and that's kind of
what
where I'm
about
at.
the news about the Bills having interest in a big name cornerback out there.
Prince Mukamura. I was going to ask you that same question. We clearly need help at cornerback. So we clearly have some depth issues, at least until Norman comes back, right, in 3 weeks. I don't know that we're going to find a situation where a lot of people like Cam Lewis, and I don't have anything against Cam Lewis, but it just seems like from everything that we've seen between Cam Lewis and Levi Wallace, and Teron Johnson didn't exactly have the best game last weekend as far as against the Jets. I'm not necessarily sure that the Bills are satisfied with what they have with Wallace and Cam Lewis. I think the Bills are looking for somebody else. And that Prince Mukamura, I don't know much about his history. I don't know much about him as a player. I know his name because I know that he was a first-round draft pick. And I know that he was in New York City for the draft. So he was one of the guys that was invited to the draft. I'd be interested in your thoughts.
If this can happen, I would be so happy. I was pleased when we signed Norman. I know that he wasn't the player that he once was, but it was an upgrade in my opinion. Prince would be an absolute upgrade. We wouldn't necessarily have two number one cornerbacks, but we definitely it's definitely an upgrade, man. I'm hoping the Bills can get this done.
Is there room for Norman and Prince Mukamura?
Yeah, well, we have an open roster position right now. I don't know if we'll keep Norman, but is Norman? I know he's on injured reserve, and they're talking about like the 3 weeks.
3 weeks. He'll be back. He'll be back in 3. 2 more games, then he's back.
Well, but here's the thing: is that the case? Like, do we know that for sure? If they're out looking for cornerbacks, it might be worse than we know. And if it's worse than we know, it might not even be an issue if we can kind of keep both of them, and we might just be looking to replace them.
Right. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching the Hump Day Hotline on the Buffalo Fanatics Multicast Network. There are a whole bunch of you all, Bills fans, and probably some Dolphins fans, up in this mug. Do us a favor, hump that like, jump on that like button. We got 113 likes on YouTube, and I got 2 dislikes. I don't know who you are, but I'll find you.
And then I see it's some angry, well, I don't know who Teddy Murphy is, but Teddy Murphy was angry on Facebook. Teddy.
Sorry, Teddy. Whatever we did, we apologize. I'm sorry. So sorry. So anyways, we're glad to have you guys. It's so good to have you guys here and interacting with us. Let us know what you think the key or the keys to the Bills securing a victory is this week. I'd love to hear from you guys. Super chat us, get our attention. That's the best. That's the best avatar ever. The Step Brothers Hyde and Poyer avatar is the best one. Bills Mafia first lieutenant. Teron played pretty good. He led us in tackles. So that's always to me a deceiving stat. That's like the George Wilson stat. George Wilson was really good. He led us in tackles. Yeah, because he couldn't cover the tight end and he kept catching the ball. Does that make sense? But
I don't think that was the case with Teron. He's a good player. He played well.
His man was open a lot. That's all I'll say.
Okay.
It didn't matter. If I'm not mistaken, the one busted play that they had that Crowder scored on was his guy.
That was him. I don't know why I thought it was Levi.
I didn't get to see. I didn't get to watch it back. Well, nobody's talked about that either. The fact that without that busted play, that is a totally different football game. If that busted play does not happen,
without
totally different football game.
The possibility of the missed or made kick,
right?
Because that came right after that. Now, granted, listen, I'm. If you don't kick it down the middle, you take what they give you. There should be no room for question.
Right.
But if he makes that kick, then obviously we're kicking the ball off and they have to drive down the field. And it's a completely different plan for that drive from where they started the drive. So I don't know.
Yeah. So what are people saying? Keys to the game. What do they think? Anybody got anything? We need some keys to the game, folks. What do you guys think? What is the main key to the Bills winning this football game against the Dolphins on Sunday? Anybody got any thoughts? What's your thought? Key to the game, main key. Turnovers for me. I think it's turnovers. Yep. I think the Bills need to come out of this game with 1 or less.
Well, to answer that, I think we'll be all right in that area. I think I think Fitz is going to give us 2. He's just going to give us 2.
He's the tale of 2 coins. The tale of 2. I mean, he's either Fitz magic or Fitz tragic. Very rarely does Fitz have that meh game. It's always 4 interceptions or 4 touchdowns, right? I mean,
yep.
So I hope he gives us 2 or 3 picks. That'd be amazing. People are saying
this is a good one.
Stay healthy.
Stay healthy. Yeah.
Anybody else over hamstring injuries? I'm over it. We need a couple preseason games to open it up.
I don't even know if it's the preseason. I mean, it is, but it's because when you really look at the starters don't play preseason really. Besides that third game, really,
but it's a go thing though. It's a full speed thing. Like it's just different. Like
I would rather them do scrimmages. I'm actually cool. I know it sucks to say this live. I'm admitting this, but I was fine without the preseason. Like I'm good going right into the season. Like every year I complain about the preseason because we end
so
up
do I.
watching a game where it's like you get excited because it's football, and then you watch and it's like, oh, this is the most awful thing that I've ever seen.
It's more about the fact that the season is a marathon, and it's like if you're running, so a marathon to normal guys like us is just running a mile, right? So there's if you played baseball, if you played football, I played volleyball, and I played baseball, football, and I played volleyball in college. Like it's always like, all right, we're gonna go run today, and it's like and everybody goes out there in the first lap, like everybody's trucking, and then it's like, oh crap, like I got to do 3 more of these, and I think that's what happens without the preseason. I think those guys get out there and they just put it to the pedal to the metal, and their body's like, nah, like no, like that ain't gonna happen. So that's kind of more or less what I was saying about that. Like, whereas at least they have some preseason, they get some feeling of like going hard. So Andrew Miller, thank you for the super chat. Bill's experience on D-line versus the Dolphins' young O-line. I think they have 2 rookies starting. That doesn't bode well for any offensive line. I would tell you that. Like continuity, if your offensive line lacks continuity against this Bills defensive line, it's going to be a problem for you.
To be honest, I don't care. I think the only team that might play well against our defensive line, and we don't even play them this year, I don't think, is like Indiana. They have a good line. Like it's only
Colts.
Certain teams that I feel like we have a defense that, like last year we were very, very good, like great. This year we're better, and it's just scary to say. It's so scary to have that rush.
The Chiefs have a solid offensive line, so I think the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs are gonna. It's going to be a battle in the trenches against the Chiefs, I think. But we've talked about that. Like, I haven't seen many people call the Chiefs game a win. So, but most of us are like, it's definitely going to be the standard setter. Like, where we're going to find out who we are against that Chiefs team, right? So, if we keep it close, how well we play in prime time under the lights, against Pat Mahomes. So, it'll be interesting to see.
Rico trolling, so I'm just going to scroll past Rico. We're going to go to
Rico.
Elliot.
What'd Rico say?
He said the Patriots gave us the blueprint to, I'm guessing he's saying, beat the Dolphins by calling run or play action on 88% of their play calls. I agree, and I think that they are going to give a healthy dose of running this Sunday.
If there's something you want to latch onto as a Buffalo Bills fan for the future, I don't think that was an accident. The amount of play action that the Bills ran this weekend, I think that's going to become a staple of their offense. I think that's who they are. So you're going to see it this weekend. They're not going to just drop back and like throw the football around the yard. Like they're going to do that play action thing a lot.
Well, and then like we said too, this Sunday especially going up against Miami with 2 very good cornerbacks, they're gonna the ball is gonna be coming out the backfield more often than not. You're not gonna see as many explosive passes down the field. It's just not happening.
No, but if you get those corners leaning forward, right, on a play action, if they're on their toes and leaning forward just a little bit, then that gives Brown and Diggs the ability to get past him. So on a double move or something. So
my man Anthony said he thinks our offense will beat the Chiefs.
You might be on an island on that one. I'm not ready to go there. I'll let you take it.
Well, you remember on your show, back in May, you and I on your show on the Overreaction podcast, we talked about how I thought this game, that particular game, is going to be a statement game for the Bills and Josh Allen. I think Josh is going to come out and put the league on notice. So yeah, I agree with Anthony. I do.
But that's in a win. Are you saying in a win? I think the Bills can put the league on notice and still lose that football game.
Oh no, we're winning.
You got the Bills beating the Chiefs Thursday.
You don't remember that show? We did the whole schedule and everything.
I missed it. I literally just said a second ago, I don't remember anybody picking the Bills to win that game. So I
absolutely picked it. I absolutely picked them.
Bet it. Not with me, but bet it.
I just honestly, now I do think there are other games that we're obviously supposed to win that I think one or two will slip. So I don't think that we're just going to be unbeatable by any means, but I think that game we're going to really show up for that game. Right.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. Anthony, all over it, man. Welcome. You got the jacket on, Anthony? Maybe we'll just get you in here. Chiefs defense is weak. Our defense can hold them to reasonable points. We will beat them. We're talking about, let's not get ahead of ourselves because I don't know that I believe in trap games, but I definitely believe in looking ahead. So let's talk about the Miami Dolphins. I think there is an aspect to a blueprint that was given against the Dolphins. There's a lot of pretenders. There's always pretenders at the beginning of the season. This year more than ever, when you're talking about teams that have no continuity. So when you look around the league, the teams that have continuity are a little more who they are than the teams that have no continuity, if that makes sense. I think there's an aspect to this Dolphins team that they're probably not as good as I feared they were. That doesn't mean that they're going to be better. But once that switch is made, Tua for Fitz, I think this year is it's in the rearview mirror for them. But we'll see. There was a report out that I don't know if it's true or not that they did not want to put Tua in this week because they didn't want him to face the Bills. Did you hear that?
Oh no, I mean it's smart.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put my rookie quarterback who might not be 100% from a hip injury. I wouldn't want to put him against like one of the scariest defenses in the league.
Yeah, I don't know if that's true or not. If somebody else heard that or knows where that came from, throw it in the comments. That'd be great.
And earlier, I can't find the comment now. Earlier, Rico said that Zach Moss's vision is suspect.
Ooh, not from the college film I watched.
And not from the game Sunday. I know that he didn't have an explosive day on the ground, and neither did Singletary. That was because the Jets actually. I know they're a horrible team, but they have a good defensive line. And
their defensive line is
kid Quentin Williams, man. Like there's a reason why they were a top rush defense last year.
No, and there's an aspect to the run plays they were calling as well. Like they were just lining up and trying to smash them in the face. Like there was no fooling anybody on that. Like with those run plays that they were trying to do. So. Do we want to move on to Josh Allen? So sure. Stat lines, Josh Allen stat line. What does everybody think Josh Allen stat line? Stat line predictions for the Bills versus the Miami Dolphins. This is going to be fun all year, in my opinion, as we tick along to somewhat of some people believe is going to be an MVP season. Some people are wondering where he's going to land, 3,600 yards, 3,800 yards, 4,000 yards and plus. I know that Anthony said a little while ago that like 4,000 yards in 15 games is going to be tough, but somebody broke it down. I think it was like 267. Was that the number? Did you see it?
Yeah.
So somebody did the math. It was like 267, and that's doable. Like that's not an impossible number. That's doable. So what do you got, Josh Allen, this weekend?
I have Josh having 248 yards passing. 2 passing touchdowns, 1 interception, and I'm going to give him 75 yards rushing.
Wow. So so they're going the opposite,
1 touchdown.
The opposite direction of what you want. Like all the fans want him to not run the ball. You're where I'm at. You think we're going to see a lot of Josh Allen this weekend?
Yep.
Yeah, I think I'm in a similar boat. I don't think we're necessarily going to see a repeat of a 300-yard game from Josh Allen this weekend. I'm probably not as low as you are. I'm probably in the 262 range, somewhere around there. You're probably going to see Josh Allen. That defensive backfield is good. It's going to come down to our offensive line and giving him time. Is he going to make wise choices? There was some stuff he threw on Sunday that he shouldn't have thrown, and he knew it. And the funny thing is like there was enough of a command against the Jets that like when you saw his face on the sideline, he was smiling in such a way that was like, I should have thrown that ball. You know what I mean? Like, and the hero ball came back. The ball to Moss's touchdown, like the way that he was doing that wiggle like around the defensive line and then chucked it across his body as Moss. I wanted to be able to show that I wanted to show that tonight in a video, the way that he just kind of sunk back into the end zone and then Allen fired it between 2 defenders and there was a defender behind Moss. Like that's probably not a ball he should have thrown. Like, I don't know that Daboll's watching that in the film room this week and going, man.
I disagree, man. Why do you want him to be Tyrod Taylor? You want him to be the Tyrod quarterback in the league.
I don't want him to be Tyrod Taylor. I don't want hero balls. So anyways,
but
my point.
That window, his arm is strong enough to make that throw into that window.
What about the other one that he threw that almost was picked off?
No, but that wasn't a window there. Like you're talking about the one to Knox, right?
Yes.
Yeah, no, that wasn't the same window.
So anyways,
like, that was a bad decision.
There were some throws this Sunday that he threw that you could see it on his face. He was like, like, you know what I'm talking about, because they had the camera on his face and he was like, I probably shouldn't have thrown that one, but it's fine. It didn't hurt us. So whether or not he has an interception, he probably will throw one. I agree with you. So 262 interception. I'm going to say 1 touchdown, probably 1 rushing touchdown. I think it's going to be a big day for the running backs. I think Diggs gets his first touchdown this weekend. I think they kind of forced that in a way. Yeah, they're going to make it happen, keep him happy. And I think that Singletary rushing yards, I don't know where I'm at. I think the Bills are going to come out and test it. I think in the first couple series, you're going to see the Bills see if they can impose their will with Singletary and Moss. And if they can't, they're going to try to break it loose with a little bit of Allen running the ball, and then they're going to go back to Singletary and Moss and like see if they can like impose their will. And if not, then they're going to probably start chucking the ball around the yard. So
I saw this too. There were a ton of Chargers fans really pissed off about Tyrod on Twitter, and I did see that. Uh, and it was the same stuff. They're like, "Oh my God, he's like open and he won't throw." It's like, look, we tried to tell y'all.
Everybody wants to accuse the Buffalo Bills fans and the ownership, and I'm just going to say it, like you've seen it, being racist. Like that's why, regardless of the fact that the Bills had 3 black rostered quarterbacks, Tyrod's last year here, Cardale Jones, EJ Manuel, Tyrod Taylor. But yeah, we did not cut him loose because he was black. That's not it at all. He was just too safe. So I love Tyrod.
It has nothing to do with him being black.
Man, I love Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah,
I watched
Tyrod.
We get the free red zone, and we got free Sunday ticket this Sunday if you're a DirecTV customer. I don't have Sunday ticket, but it was free week 1, and that was the game I watched. I watched the Chargers game because I just wanted to see Tyrod play.
Yeah, no, I love Tyrod.
Yeah,
like you said, I love him. He's a great guy.
Yep.
But gosh, I'm happy to have Josh Allen be my starting quarterback.
So, bold prediction for me. Throw that back up there. Bold prediction. So, I predicted that Tyler Bass would miss 2 kicks last week. I'm going to predict he's going to miss another kick this week.
Okay. Okay.
It's not going to hurt us. I don't think he gets cut, but I think he's going to miss another kick. So, what are your thoughts? You talked about it on your show with Mookie today quite a bit.
What about the kick?
Yeah, about just Tyler Bass in general.
Yeah, well, I like Tyler, and so I asked him the questions because I wanted to know, like, is it a concern? Is it something that you think? And one of the things that he talked about in depth was, those nerves after missing that first one like that, and the way the situation went down. I don't think that Tyler Bass I don't think he's going to be a problem. I don't think that he'll miss at all this weekend. I think that.
I hope he doesn't. Yeah, Believe me, I hope he doesn't.
And actually, I forgot. I'm happy we can stay on Tyler Bass, but we got to talk about Corey Bojorquez for at least 30 seconds. I'm just saying, you kill him when he's like absolutely horrible, and you have the right to. We got to talk about him at least for a second. He had an amazing showing for us.
Let me fix my shirt. Did you just say he had an amazing game?
Compared to what he's always done, yes, it's been amazing.
The only thing that he's done well as a Buffalo Bill since he's been a Bill is hold the kick, like hold the ball for the place kick. He messed that up this Sunday.
He bombed that kick.
No. As the placeholder, that he has done pretty well. I think he's only messed up 1 snap since he's become the placeholder for the Bills, and he messed that up this weekend. One that Bass potentially did miss was because the laces were in. At least that's what they say, right? So. Yes, the 1 kick he had, he bombed it. I want to see Corey Bojorquez change my mind. So as much as I've been a naysayer and I don't understand it, and like I can't, like, who does he have dirt on? I would love for Corey Bojorquez. I'm gonna say this: if Corey Bojorquez changes my mind in the 2020 season, are you ready? Write this down. So what's today? Today's the 14th. Is today the 14th?
16th.
The 16th, September 16th, 2020. Hump Day Hotline. If Corey Bojorquez changes my mind in the 2020 season and he becomes the best punter in the league or one of the best punters in the league, I'll buy a Corey Bojorquez jersey. There you go.
Okay. I'm going to hold you to it.
You're laughing because it ain't going to happen.
No, I think it will. I think it will. I think we actually talked about this today with Mookie as well. We talked about how first he was a rookie his first year, obviously, like every rookie, but he was injured. So you come off that injury. So you're going through. Yeah, we talk about quarterbacks learning and the game slowing down for them and things happening. Same thing for kickers and punters. Like
not always.
No, but I'm saying, like, you can't just always also assume that they come in and are perfect kickers either. Like they go through a learning process.
Shankoponymous, bro.
No, he has some injuries, man. I'm going with my man.
I would predict the next game he has to punt the ball 3 times. The Rams game, he's going to have to punt the ball 4 to 5 times against the Rams. He's going to shank at least one of them. He's going to put one of them in the stands.
Okay, we'll see.
Bold predictions. I got all kinds of. So 2 weeks, I got all kinds of bold predictions. Stevie Campione, what's up, Steven?
He said he's going to hold you to it.
Hold me to it. Like, I will buy a Bojorquez. It might be a Chinese jersey, but I'm going to buy a Bojorquez jersey.
He said,
when?
Bojo's good. You tripping, man. You tripping.
When? Bring some film. When?
You don't know who Mookie Hawkins is? Whoever
Oh,
Maston Park is?
get some knowledge up in here.
Yeah, Mookie Hawkins is a very good beat reporter in the city of Buffalo who covers the Buffalo Bills. He asks great questions. The players have a very
Yeah,
good relationship with him. Coach McDermott lights up like a Christmas tree when
yeah.
he sees him. It's the funniest thing.
What's up, Mook? He says every
Yeah,
time.
what's up, Mook?
Chris Clark,
Let's
thank you for the
get
super chat.
Yeah, thanks, man. He said, "Let's get Pat McAfee to hit stick return."
I wouldn't mind him coming out of retirement, like for sure.
I don't want him to come out. I'm good with Corey,
Your point about kickers and punters isn't untrue about like there's an aspect of the game being too fast for them. The problem is they don't last long enough for the game to slow down for them. So they come in young and they either got it immediately or they don't, and they don't stick around. Like they're gone pretty quick. Very rarely do you see a kicker. There's been a couple. One of them was with us and went to the Bengals. I'm lost on his name. I think he wore number 11, where like we ran him out of town quick, and then he ended up out of the league for a year, ended up with the Bengals, and then kicked for them for like 4 or 5 years. That happens rare. Normally, it's pretty like if they don't have it, they're not going to get it, and they're done. So.
You know what I like to see though, real quick. Just back on the Mookie situation, real quick. I'm seeing a ton of comments just saying Mookie knows his stuff.
Yeah,
Mook is dope. Mook.
Mook.
So
Mook.
I'm glad that that we have fans that the Buffalo fan base really does pay attention to the reporters. Like,
oh yeah,
like we know who our reporter when Rodak was here. Oh my God, man! But we know who our beat reporters are, and we hold them accountable. And listen, Mook is awesome, man. Mookie is awesome.
That's how we started the show. For those of you that were late, because the Bills are a good football team, so
yeah.
They are. It just is what it is. It would be amazing. I would never, ever in a million years want to see Sal Capaccio go anywhere. And if he did go anywhere, I'd want to see him go up in the ranks. So if Sal Capaccio, I'm going somewhere with this. If Sal Capaccio moved on from being the sideline reporter for Bills games, which I know he loves, he probably would never give up that gig. But if he was able to move up and like take a bigger role someplace in like the news media circles or however that works out, it'd be cool to have Mookie on the sidelines because the fans would be going, Mook.
Oh, that would be so cool. Yeah, that'd be cool.
It'd be happening. Like it'd be great.
It would. But Sal, he does a great job on the sidelines. Like,
Sal's
I actually
amazing.
enjoy. Yeah, Sal was good. But no, you're right. Mook, you're right.
That'd be fun.
And Duke has to get activated again so we can do the Duke, man. We got to do it.
That's so funny. So, did we get stat line predictions from everybody? Is everybody have we run that one into the dirt? I didn't see much. So
we saw a couple, not many. Let's see. I think for the most part, though, everybody kind of agrees. I kept seeing a bunch of 200, like this one, 250, 2 passing touchdowns, an interception.
Yeah.
75 yards rushing on 7 attempts.
Yeah. Hey, Chris Bruton, I apologize for the skipping and the delay. We have no control. So, like, literally, we're using a platform service that provides it to YouTube. If it's skipping on one of the platforms you're watching on, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter, it's either your internet connection or it's just Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter. So I don't know if it's happening across all the platforms or just on some of them. But
I saw Rico mention it as well, so I know that there's something happening today. We'll
YouTube might be.
We'll get it fixed for you next week.
Yeah, YouTube might be because we can't fix it. We're just gonna hope it's better next week.
Hope it's better next time.
For sure.
Jeff says 250, 32 rushing TD and 3 passing TDs.
I'd love that stat line. That'd be amazing. I would love to see. I'd love to see a game from Josh Allen as much as he owns the Fins, where he's not having to take that game over, and like a low yardage 210. 3 touchdowns, 4 touchdowns, where it was just an easy breezy day for him to come in and just like pick them apart and get off the field and not take a shot to the head. Wouldn't that be great? Like for Josh Allen? Because I'm getting nervous about the shots he's taking to the head. He takes a lot of shots to the head. Like that boy has his bell rung a lot.
It's his style of play. It
is.
I love it when he runs. I do. I know there's a side of us that don't, but I love when he runs. And
Chris Clark, I don't know, bro.
I would love that. But
it'd be amazing.
It would be wonderful.
Oh, that'd be amazing. That'd be amazing.
I agree, Martin. We talked about this a little bit back. I don't know if maybe, I don't know. I love Tyrod. And actually, so to Joe's suggestion, I did go and watch Hard Knocks because it had both LA teams on there. And listen, Tyrod Taylor he's a great leader.
Mm-hmm.
He's such a great guy, and he's a hard worker. And then I think was it Eric Wood that came out and said, just so you all know, Tyrod was doing the same thing in Buffalo. It's not for TV.
Yep, yep,
Like
yep.
I love him, but I love Josh Allen as my starting quarterback.
Me too. Me too. Let's take a couple minutes just to take some questions before we get into final predictions, game predictions, game score predictions. So, what do you guys have for us? Bad skipping with the stream. It seems like everybody on YouTube are the guys on Facebook. Nope, my Facebook is fine. So apparently, it's something that's going on with YouTube. So yeah, I see Tom Talk Sports Cards bad skipping on the stream. So I apologize, everybody. Hit refresh maybe, or close some of your other. If you got some tabs open, close some tabs. And then hit refresh, try a different browser. Like me, I've got 3 different browsers on all my computers because sometimes Safari acts up. So I go to Google Chrome and then Google Chrome acts up. So I'll go to Firefox. Zach Allen says his YouTube is fine. So who knows, dude? The internet is a crazy place. So yeah, YouTube keeps dropping the stream from Thunder Breeze. So Truth of Hearts, what's up, brother? Jets rush defense is overrated. Remember last year we ran on them just fine? I think the O-line still rushy for run blocking. And it's 250 yards a game equals 4,000 yards. So there's probably something to be said for, and we haven't talked about it, Cody Ford kicking into right guard and Williams playing right tackle that potentially could have, they tried to run over the right side quite a bit on Sunday, if my memory serves me. Thoughts?
I actually thought Cody looked fine.
I didn't say he didn't look good.
No, I know you didn't say that, and
Yeah.
but I'm saying like I was giving that was actually kind of for Sterling, and I don't know if he's in here or not, but that was just
Gotcha.
one of those because everybody in the Fanatics chat kept telling me I'm crazy to think that Cody Ford should have been a guard as opposed to a tackle, and it's not a diss to Cody Ford.
I don't think I wouldn't have called you crazy. I don't remember that chat in the Fanatics chat.
Oh, it was a bit.
I would have said you try him. I would have said you try him. You make sure you find out what you got at right tackle before you kick him to guard. But
Yeah.
I mean, coming out of college, everybody said he translated as a guard better than a tackle. Everybody said that.
Well, and then so to your point, I do think that obviously shuffling the line has somewhat to do with us not being able to run well on them.
Sure.
But the thing is, like that comment last year when we ran on them just fine. Listen, I feel like maybe they had a bad game against us. They were a top rush defense. Like you can't. They have like actual statistics that show all season that they did this, and they may have had a bad game here or there, just like us. We last year we had certain teams that showed up and just embarrassed us on certain things. I told you, I'm not even talking. I'm not even talking.
He took it down.
I'm not even talking.
I did not take that down, Rico. Just so you know.
I took it down. I'm telling him I took Rico's comment down. Listen, so Rico thinks that Zach Moss, and we did actually address them, man. You think that he's not, his vision isn't up to par. I said I disagree. In college, he looked fine, and then Sunday we just had pretty much we were against one of the top rushing defenses in the league.
Gotcha. Richard Forbes says that New York Up is having the same problem, so it's a YouTube issue. So apologize, everybody. I wish we could fix it. So hey, we got some scores coming in. Spence, I agreed with Ford to guard. Yeah, I don't know. It's yeah.
Well, y'all just wasn't there with the chat that day because they was getting on me. I was literally the only one, and I appreciate you, Kevin, and now you saying it, Joe. I appreciate you too.
Yeah. I'm not against
Regal
you.
Avidel.
I got you back. Got you back, bro.
That day I felt lonely, man. I felt alone.
So a couple more minutes, about 10. So in about 5, we'll go to final score predictions. We've already got one in. And we want to do some giveaways. We just haven't been able to work it out. So what we would like to do, maybe next week we'll start whoever's closest, or if somebody gets it, if somebody nails the score, maybe we'll do it that way. Like maybe we can get with somebody, or we'll figure something out. We'll talk to Fanatics and see if we can get some t-shirts or something. And if somebody nails the score on the head, they win. Does that work for you, Jay Spence? Starting next week, because I won't be able to keep track of it this week. I'm gonna have to have like my daughter watch the chat and like write them all down. But if you got any questions for us, comments, concerns, hey, smash that like, hump that like. We got 141 likes. We got almost 300 people up in this mug between all the platforms. So jump on that like button. Yeah.
NBC says, any chance we go after OBJ and turn this offense into a juggernaut, and we could bring that wide receiver from Green Bay? No, I don't see that happening.
Where do you put him? Who are you not playing? Who are you not playing to get OBJ on the field?
Yeah, we don't have our offense is fine.
I'm not saying it's a bad idea, but you have to ask the question: who are you taking off the
I'm
field?
saying it's a bad idea.
Yeah, well,
and
that's
I'm
fine.
a huge OBJ fan. Like,
right.
I love OBJ.
The reality is you can't run 5 wide the whole game, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you
No,
just
you
can't.
can't.
You can't do it. You can't run 5 wide the whole game. So, whether you
But this is the stuff that I have a problem with.
Go for it.
We really give him like this.
Don't say we. You got a mouse in your pocket? Don't say we.
No, I'm saying we as far as like I'm trying to include myself even though I don't, but a lot of people give him this really bad rep for stuff that's not like it's not I just don't feel like it's warranted. He doesn't deserve a lot of the stuff that we talk about. He's
Sure.
not a distraction to his team.
Sure.
I know yesterday Greg Thompson tried to debate me and say that nobody says he's a good teammate, but literally everybody from New York when he left said no, he was not a problem. You
Right.
hear no problems about him in Cleveland. Calling him a drama queen to me is disrespectful. He's not a drama queen. He shows up, he works hard, he does what he's supposed to do. So I am going to always stand up for OBJ and Cam Newton and other players that are misunderstood just because you might not agree with the culture or the things that they do.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
Sorry, I had to get that out.
You're good. Get it off the chest. Just like Josh Allen got that monkey off his back. Get that off your chest.
Yeah,
So
had to get that out.
what else we got, people? Any questions, comments? Don't be afraid to super chat us to get our attention if you've got a question or a comment that you want to make about the Jets game or the Dolphins game. And you know what? Just for Anthony, if you're still in here, we'll open it up to the Chiefs game as well. If you want to talk about the Chiefs game for a couple more minutes, we got about 9 left. And before that, we're going to jump into those scores. 24-21 Miami and over.
Lose?
Woo! He's got it. He's not a Bills fan. Not a Bills fan.
Can't be.
Somebody block JD Diesel right now.
I just honestly don't see
JD Diesel.
I just don't see it.
You're going to have to break it down. How in the world are the Dolphins scoring 24 points against our defense? Break that down for me. Because they couldn't move on the Patriots defense at all. And the Patriots lost Van Noy. They lost, who else did they lost? A whole bunch of guys. Like, I just can't see it. I can't see it. Looks like we're going to get there. So Chris says 31-20 Bills, right? You got that one right there? Yep, 31-20. Now Anthony wants, yeah. See how you are, Anthony? I'm coming on your show next week. I'm coming on the Hoof Live next week, and I'm railroading your show. 27-13.
We got some good ones in here.
Yep. 44. I like that one. 50. If we get to 50, hashtag stash for 50. Hashtag stash for 50.
Got some Facebook peeps. 36-13.
What's up, Derek? Welcome into the show. So somebody's asking about updates on Edmonds and Milano. No updates other than they did not participate today. So that's the only update we've gotten so far. 17-15. That's interesting. I don't think the Miami defense is strong enough to hold us to 17 points. I think the Dolphins are legit gonna have to score 25 to beat us this weekend.
If they score 25, I don't think they'll beat us then. I think we're scoring 28.
No, that's my number. Really? Yeah. I'm like 28-9 is probably my number. 28-9. I think Fitzy throws 2 interceptions to your point. So
yeah.
So I'm on record as 28-9.
So 3 field goals for him.
Yep.
I'll go with that. I'm with you. So we're in agreement for that 28. Actually, no, I'm going to go 31-9. I think Tyler Bass is going to be they're going to give him one of those kicks.
Yeah. I got 28-9 and Fitzy throws an interception in the end zone in garbage time.
Okay.
Because we've seen Fitzy do that a lot.
I just want a Trey White pick 6. That's what I want.
That would be amazing. I thought we were going to get one this weekend, to be honest with you. So
it was close a couple times.
This is interesting. So I love this question. Pierre Martinez, I'm going to let you answer it. You think Gabe Davis can turn out to be a top 5 wide receiver from this year's class?
Yes.
I'm on record, and I didn't see it coming. I'm on record as saying I think that Gabe Davis has more percentage of snaps by the end of the season than John Brown has. However, I was surprised that it was 49%? Is that what he was? He had 49% of the snaps Sunday or 47?
Yep. 49.
He had a lot. He was on the field a lot. Like, it was impressive. Like, he's got to work on his game. He's got to figure out how to block some folks. But yeah, it was good. 27-13, 31-17. Darn tootin' I want Trey Day pick 6. Elliott.
It's Fitz to get benched, not against us.
Not in this game. He won't.
It might be his last game. Like, they might start him week 3, but Fitz is playing this entire game.
Yeah. What are they talking about? Gabriel can, yes. Who we talking about? Oh, Gabe Davis. Yeah.
Yeah, because everybody tried to correct me the other day too, because apparently he prefers to be called Gabriel instead of Gabe.
I didn't know that.
I didn't either. Until I hear it from him, I'm going to continue to call him Dave.
Was he tweeting to Rod when he said that? So
I don't even know who that. Let's see. John Brown was impressive also, though. Davis might have to wait for Brown's contract to be up before he takes Brown's spot. Pretty much.
I think there's room. Like
I think it's room, but not for him to be who he's going to be. Like he'll be that young guy that comes in and he's explosive if there's an injury. So, for instance, now if John Brown is injured and he can't play Sunday, I'm not worried about having Davis step in for that week.
Right.
I'm just not.
Right. Gotcha. He doesn't want to go by Gabe. Interesting. Gabriel Davis. Got it. I won't call him Gabe ever again. So, Super Mexican. Oh my God. Elvis. I don't know. I'm reading the comments that you're not putting. I don't know. I'm reading the comments that you're not putting up. So, seems like we're slowing down a little bit. We got 254 people. Now's the time. If you want to talk to us about something, now's the time. You got about 5 minutes before we jump off this thing and get back to our families in real life. Zach Allen.
Zach says that it's too good of a class. I don't know. I mean, it is a good class, but the thing is, I think it's going to depend for a lot of people. It's going to depend on their quarterbacks. Because, I saw your face. Go ahead.
He was the 5th wide receiver taken, wasn't he?
Who, Gabe?
No. What number was he taken? I have to look it up. I don't have time.
I don't know, but it wasn't. It couldn't have been 5. There were so many taken before.
Yeah, I was trying to remember, and he was taken in the. Where was he taken? Was he in the 2nd? He was taken in the 3rd, wasn't he? No, where was he taken at? Dude, my brain is mashed potatoes right now.
We took Gabe in the 4th.
I'll look it up. Hang on a second.
We took Moss in the 3rd. Epinesa in the 2nd. I feel like it was the 4th. But I think, like I said, it depends on the quarterbacks. Because when you look at Judy, I'm not confident in his quarterback. You look at, I think CeeDee Lamb is going to be amazing. I think I do. I think CeeDee Lamb is going to be a boss in this league for a long time, and I'm so happy I got him on my fantasy team.
Judy ran some crisp routes the other night too. Yeah, Gabe Davis was in the 4th. Sorry, everybody, my brain is just So
and he was the 20th wide receiver taken. Yeah,
20th.
Wow. Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. But see, that's the thing in college now, because everything is changing to passing. So these receivers are more and more. You're gonna find great receivers.
Yeah.
But Gabe Davis might benefit from the fact that Josh Allen is gonna become or might become who we want him to become. You get what I'm saying? So if Josh Allen improves that much, and you're on it's the same thing with that Jordan and Pippen argument, where it's like, well, would Pippen have been Pippen if he didn't play his entire career with Jordan or most of his career? Right. You benefit from playing with great players. So
indeed.
I think Davis could really become one of those players if Josh becomes who we think he is.
Yeah. You want to wrap this thing up?
Sure.
Awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us this evening on the Hump Day Hotline. Week 1 edition. Well, is this week 2 or week 1? Week 1 edition? Week 1 edition of the Hump Day Hotline? It's got to be week 1, right?
I think week 1 was last week, technically.
Yeah, maybe. Week 2 edition.
Week 2, yeah.
Of the Hump Day Hotline.
Starts on Tuesdays.
So you got Jay Spence and myself both at, no, I guess not. I'm at 28-9 and you're at 31-9 this weekend. The Buffalo Bills over the Miami Dolphins. You can reach me on Twitter at Joe Miller Wired. You can reach my buddy Jay Spence. Oh, wrong way.
Jay Spence the King.
I'm used to pointing this direction. We flip spots. So yeah. Jay Spence the King. If you have not checked out the Code of Conduct pod yet, please jump on the Fanatics Network and check it out. But you don't have to go any other place but Buffalo Fanatics to get all the Bills content that you need. You're laughing about something. What is it?
Kevin. So in the Buffalo Fanatics Dynasty League, I actually drafted his quarterback, and he's very upset about it.
Tua?
Yeah, I have Tua on the bench, and this year I have Dak as my starting quarterback.
Oh, nice.
So he's upset about it. I got Dak for the contract this 1 year. He's going to play well, and then when Tua gets his time and starts to develop, he'll come in and I'll play him.
There you go. So do us a favor. If you are in the market and you've got a special lady in your life, jump over to manscaped.com. Whatever you decide to purchase from that site, put in the promo code Fanatics, get 20% off of your order as well as free shipping. But you know what? I'm just excited that the Buffalo Bills are 1-0. It's a good day. It's a good day every day in Buffalo when the Bills are winning football games, and the Bills are winning football games. We got a great game coming this weekend. Any final words? No, go Bills. I'm happy that we're in the season and it's
It's a good time. Let's do this.
Dude, we will be back next week for the Hump Day Hotline. We'll get you more information on the on-location Hump Day Hotline that we're going to do. What was the place again? Magruder's in Depew. Live on
Broadway.
On Broadway in Depew on that Thursday night. Otherwise, thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you next week. Tomorrow, tune in for the Bills guys. And Friday night, it's the Rico Report. Love you guys. Go Bills.
Go Bills.